I'm gonna be honest with you guys. 2020 overall sucked. It really did. I mean, it sucked. It was a tough year. But I learned that you can't really look at it like that, and you have to look at it in the sense of the things that you were able to accomplish and the things that you did through whatever the hell you were going through. What matters is what you were able to do, not how bad it was. And looking back at 2020, you know, we started off high. I had high hopes of, you know, getting this truck, my Dakota running, and I wanted to lower it. I wanted this thing to be sweet, right? I wanted to trick out this truck. And then it happened. So actually, the first picture I have of my truck from 2020 is a picture of it on the flatbed of a tow truck. That pretty much summed up the rest of the life of that truck. From there on, it broke probably, I don't know, 6 other times, and it got to the point where I was just like, you know what? It's time for me to move on. Time for me to get something new. And I've always been really into cars, and I had the opportunity to go look at a 2004 Mazda RX-8, bone, stock, like completely unmodified, like besides the coil packs. Like, this thing was sweet. And went out, drove it, fell in love with this thing immediately. I drove all the way out to Grand Rapids to go drive this thing. And for those of you who don't know Michigan, Grand Rapids is about an hour and a half from where I live. It's a couple hours from where my dad's house is at. But I went, drove out there. My mom and I drove out there. I went and looked at this car, and this thing was awesome. And that was like huge for me. I'm coming off it, like, COVID hit. It was horrible. This lockdown hit, and it was really, really, really tough for me mentally, being locked up inside all day. I have some pretty bad ADHD. I'm constantly moving. I have to be doing something. Just sitting here right now is tweaking me out to the max. And it's gotten worse throughout this year. So that was really tough for me, and being away, not being able to see the people that I wanted to see, and the people that I ultimately loved, and, you know, spend my time with them. That's what I wanted to do. I couldn't see any of my friends. I couldn't see my girlfriend at the time. I couldn't see anybody. And it really, really sucked. I mean, I sat at home behind a screen for, like, ever. But after lockdown, I got all my unemployment, saved up $7,000 and went and bought this RX-8. Oh boy. I researched everything about rotaries, bought the car, and we went in with guns blazing. First thing I did, decat. Threw a test pipe in there. Got to shoot flange, you know, it was loud. That wasn't enough for me. Put a new radiator in. Just, you know, I started learning more as I went on this car, and I already knew, you know, a good amount from what I went through with my truck, but with this car, it really took off. And you guys will see in the next video, I have so many parts for this car now, and the motor is coming out. Like, motor's coming out this month. And it's crazy to me to think that I would ever even remotely attempt to pull a motor out of a car on my own. And it's awesome to think that, you know, 2 years ago, if you would have told me that I would have had 6 cars by now, and that I'd be pulling a motor on a rotary, setting it off to get rebuilt so I can have this car back for the summer and install the motor myself and tune it, I'd laugh in your face. It's crazy to think that. And it's really happening, and honestly, it's awesome. And then I hit a groundhog. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you know everything went downhill from there. The car wouldn't stop flooding. It started getting cold. It wouldn't stop flooding. I had numerous issues trying to get the radiator to fit because this groundhog had messed up the way that it mounted. I had a lot of issues from that groundhog, and I got to the point where I was going to pull this motor this winter anyways, and I just got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to let it be. I'm going to pull the motor out, send it out to get rebuilt, start with a clean slate. Compression was low when I bought it, so I knew I was going to have to do it, so we're starting off fresh. It's going to be awesome. I'm sending it out to get rebuilt and ported here pretty soon for those of you who follow me on Instagram. Again, you already know that. And then I then bought the XJ. The XJ was a piece of work, and it was awesome, and I had a lot of fun in that thing. I really did, and I didn't think I was going to like it, and I did. I had a lot of fun in that thing. Beat the crap out of it, honestly. I don't know how it's still running, but basically, I guess what I'm trying to say, looking back at everything now, if this was me last year, I would have looked back and I would have been like, man, it sucked. Like, nothing good came out of this. Like, there's no reason any of this should have happened. I'd be really, really upset, and I'd say, like, this year sucked. And you know what? 2020, overall, it sucked, and it tried me mentally beyond what I have ever been through. And there's a lot of stuff that I'm still going through right now, but that's okay. Everybody grows from this, and I know each and every single one of you has grown from 2020. Whether it's something so small or something huge, you've grown from this year, because this year tested you over and over and over, and it tested me, and I've grown from it, and it's really, you can't look at it any other way, because there's no point in dwelling on how bad this year was, or, what this year threw at us. I mean, some people have really gone through it, and I feel so bad for anybody I feel terrible for anybody who has dealt with anything related to this virus, and I'm thankful that, I didn't get it. But this year has forced us all to grow as people, and to that we owe it. And again, I'm not saying it was a good year, but what I am saying is that I grew from this year, and I really, really, really appreciate this year for the opportunities that it gave me and everything that it threw at me, going through all of this year. I mean, it threw a lot at me. And so I feel really grateful that a lot of the things that happened to me happened, because it forced me to become a better person. And I started taking strides in my personal life, trying to better myself mentally, because really you need it. And honestly, I want to thank each and every single one of you, because I have you guys to make content for, and it's one of my favorite things to do right now, is to make content for you guys. And I appreciate the 17 of you that watch every single video, because it lets me know that I'm doing something right. I'm doing something right for 17 people. And honestly, I'm chilling with that. I'm fine with that. But at the end of the day, it's been a crazy year, but we've all grown from it. And I know for a lot of people, it felt like we were getting kicked while we were down, and I felt that heavy. For anybody that knows me personally, some of the things that I was going through with my family throughout this year, and it sucked, but it's over now, and everybody's got to move on. And so this year has really taught me that you have to move on, and you have to be okay with things being different, because everything this year was so different. And I want every single one of you to take that away from this video, if you haven't applied that to your everyday life, is that life's gonna throw everything at you, and it's all about, it's how you look back at it, and looking back and saying, wow, you know, that sucked, but I grew from that. That sucked, but I was able to become a better person from that. And really, it's, I'm at a loss for words. This year was the first year that I started regularly uploading. Regularly-ish uploading. I try to do every Tuesday. These past couple months have been kind of rough. So uploads have been kind of staggered a little bit, but I'm going to start doing some vlog type content, even though the last video that I did vlog type content with, that thing flopped, but I had a lot of fun doing it, and really that's what I'm doing this for. I do it for you guys, but I'm also doing it for me because it's a lot of fun for me to do. So we're going to start doing vlog type content maybe once a week on top of a build video once a week. Because I want to up the content that I'm bringing you guys, and I'm super, super excited to do that. I hope each and every one of you can look at 2020 and say that you grew in some way, shape, or form. And I want each and every one of you to know that if you ever need anything or anything like that, I'm here for you guys. If you want, follow me on Snap. I'm always here, and I'm always going to be, and I'm constantly going to be here putting out content for you guys that I hope some of you guys can relate to. But as of that, it's 2021. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. And I hope that all you guys go into this new year with the mentality that you're going to crush it, because every single one of you is, and so am I. So here's to 2021. Man, I said here's to 2020. I was doing so good, and I said here's to 2020. Here's to 2021. I hope you guys all have an amazing year. And I want to thank every single one of you for sticking with me through 2020. And that's all I got, guys. That's all I got. Thank you.